Have you ever stopped for a moment and felt like something in modern life just feels off? Like no matter how busy you stay, no matter how much content you consume, no matter how many goals you chase, there's still a quiet emptiness underneath it all. A sense that you're constantly running, but not really moving anywhere meaningful. Many people feel this, even if they don't talk about it. We live in a world built on speed, distraction, and instant pleasure. Everything is designed to grab your attention, drain your energy, and keep you wanting more. And over time, without realizing it, we begin to lose connection with ourselves. Most people are trapped in routines they never consciously chose. Wake up tired, scroll endlessly, chase short-term pleasure, repeat. Days blur into weeks, weeks into years, and somewhere along the way, meaning gets lost. But what if there was a way out of this invisible cage? What if there was a path that leads back to clarity, strength, confidence, and a deeper connection with life itself? Today, we're diving into a powerful idea that challenges how most people think about success, happiness, and masculinity. An idea that has quietly transformed lives for centuries, but is rarely talked about openly. This is a journey inward, a journey of discipline, awareness, and transformation. And at the center of it is the practice known as semen retention. My name is Gabriel, and my purpose is to help people elevate their mindset, strengthen their psychology, deepen their spirituality, and become naturally attractive, not by chasing validation, but by mastering themselves. If this message resonates with you, join this community by liking the video and subscribing. What we're about to explore may change how you see yourself and the world. There's an interesting parallel that perfectly captures the state of modern society, and it comes from a well-known film that explores the darker sides of human nature. The movie itself isn't the focus, but its message is powerful. It highlights how unchecked desire and laziness slowly destroy the human spirit. These aren't just moral ideas or religious concepts. They're patterns we see every day. Overindulgence, lack of discipline, escaping discomfort instead of facing it. Take lust and sloth, for example. These aren't just words. They describe behaviors that quietly drain energy, motivation, and purpose. Endless consumption of stimulation, sitting still while life passes by, seeking pleasure without effort. Over time, these habits don't just affect the body, they reshape the mind. They pull people further away from their potential. Many people think of hell as something that exists after death, but a deeper understanding shows that hell can be experienced right here, right now. A life filled with regret, low energy, anxiety, shame, and emptiness is its own form of suffering. When someone constantly gives in to impulse and avoids growth, they slowly build a reality they don't enjoy living in. Not because they're bad people, but because their habits are misaligned with who they could become. This is where semen retention enters the conversation. Not as a rule, not as punishment, but as a tool. A powerful one. On the surface, people talk about benefits like more energy, better focus, and physical strength. But the real impact goes much deeper. Semen retention is about reclaiming control. It's about choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. It's about telling your mind that you are in charge, not your urges. This practice isn't new. It has existed across cultures, philosophies, and time periods. Ancient thinkers, monks, warriors, and mystics all understood that sexual energy is creative energy. When constantly released without intention, it leaves a person feeling drained. But when conserved and directed, it becomes fuel for clarity, creativity, confidence, and inner peace. Many people misunderstand semen retention. They think it's about suppression or denial. It's not. It's about awareness, about learning how to sit with desire instead of being controlled by it. When you stop reacting automatically, you begin responding consciously. And that single shift changes everything. Of course, skepticism is natural. From the outside, the idea that retaining sexual energy could lead to personal or spiritual growth sounds strange. Modern culture rarely encourages restraint. It tells us to indulge, express, and consume without limits. But when you listen to those who've actually practiced retention, a different story appears. People report clearer thinking, stronger emotional control, deeper conversations, increased confidence without arrogance, a calm presence that others notice but can't explain. Relationships become more meaningful. Goals feel more achievable. Life feels sharper, more alive. The key isn't just retention, it's discipline. Each moment of temptation becomes a training ground. Every urge resisted strengthens the mind. Over time, this builds self-respect. You begin trusting yourself again. And when you trust yourself, the way you move through the world changes. There's also the idea of transmuting energy. Instead of letting sexual energy fade away, you redirect it into work, into creativity, into learning, into physical training, into spiritual exploration. This isn't about fighting desire, it's about transforming it, turning raw impulse into focused action. History is filled with individuals who understood this, even if they didn't use modern language to describe it. They knew that mastery over self leads to mastery over life. When your energy is aligned, your actions become intentional. And when your actions align with your values, life begins to respond differently. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, semen retention stands as a quiet rebellion. It asks you to slow down, to choose depth over distraction, to build strength instead of chasing stimulation. It challenges shallow definitions of masculinity and replaces them with something far more powerful: self-control, presence, and purpose. As more people experiment with this practice, a movement is forming. Not loud, not flashy, but real. Men who are no longer slaves to impulse. People who feel grounded, focused, and connected. And while experiences differ, one theme repeats again and again. When your inner world changes, your outer world follows. Many say it feels like life starts opening doors unexpectedly. New opportunities, new confidence, better conversations, a stronger sense of direction. Not because the universe is magically rewarding them, but because they're finally aligned. When your habits match your higher intentions, progress becomes natural. This path isn't easy. There will be discomfort, doubt, moments where old habits try to pull you back. But those moments are where growth happens, and every step forward builds momentum. If you've made it this far, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you tried semen retention? Have you noticed changes in your mindset, energy, or life? Do you believe discipline creates alignment? Share your experience in the comments. Your story may inspire someone else who's just starting their journey. At its core, semen retention isn't about avoiding pleasure. It's about choosing purpose. It's about living consciously instead of automatically. It's a form of self-respect, a declaration that you are more than your impulses, that you have the power to shape your future. You are not alone on this path. A growing community is exploring these ideas, learning together, supporting one another. And that collective awareness is powerful. When individuals rise, society slowly follows. This journey of self-discovery doesn't end here. Meaning and balance are ongoing pursuits. Modern life will always try to distract you, but practices like semen retention offer a way back to clarity, to strength, to authenticity. If this message resonated with you, Support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with someone who needs it. If you'd like to help us continue creating content like this, consider supporting through the link in the description. Every bit of support makes a difference. We're all searching for something deeper. And sometimes, the answers aren't found by adding more, but by conserving, focusing, and becoming intentional. This is the path of mastery, and it begins within. Thank you for being part of this journey.